everybody, welcome to Big E Auto. This is Big E. So today, we're working on putting a heater core blower motor in the C4, the 85 Corvette. So one of the things I noticed, and I didn't even dive into it yet, but this piece here, this comes off of your heater core, okay? And some of you guys, you have your vacuum motor here. In other words, it would sit in the car, something like this. Okay, so here would be where your heater core connections would be, and this would go to your water pump, and this would come from the radiator. Okay, so you can see 30 some years it's grungy like this. So you see, I already started. We're gonna clean it up. So I already started doing some cleanup on here. You can see it's rusty. So I just was gonna do a quick video showing what you can do. I was looking on some Corvette restoration sites. These things are like $100 some. And if you're like me and you don't have a ton of money, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with mine. So you can see all this rust here and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I have my cordless drill, and I have I'm going to call it a rasp like this. You get these at Harbor Freight in a pack. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just get some of that rust off, the heavy stuff. And you can also go in and there's rust inside. And remove some of that rust, okay? And I'll show you, I'm hoping I can show you here. Now there's a little bit of shine in there wasn't before. And this one, I don't know if be able to see here, kind of yucky, has some material in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just work it a little bit, get the heavy stuff off. Okay, now the other thing I use too, I have engine cleaning brush. Okay, so you can take that and put it in there. I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of stuff coming off in the air. If you look, clean that up, and we're going to do the same here. And clean that all up until it gets all nice and shiny. Now it's not going to be perfect. Again, this is 30 some years. That coolant and the chemicals have been eating away at the steel or the aluminum here. But at least if you get most of it off. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely cleaner. At least from what I can see. It's smoother, took a lot of the scale off. So hopefully get better, little bit better flow. Not like earth shattering, but we're going to clean it up. So now the next thing I'm going to do is take off my rasp, have a wire, I don't know if it's a wire wheel, but, and you drop it. So, because I had to drill the wrong way. So just put that in, like that. And we're going to go ahead and clean off the hose connections. Again, it's not going to be 100% perfect. Like I said, it's 35 years of junk, but at least get majority of it off to get it smooth. And there's some stuff you're just not going to get. And as much as you're going to try, there's just so much chemical reaction over such a long period of time. You're not going to get it 100% perfect. And I don't know exactly how thick of a tubing this is. You don't want to go through, but this is at least smooth. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean off the tube here what I can. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's great. We are going to paint this. I forgot to mention. So, I mean, as long as we get most of the junk off, we're going to, you know, put a nice coat of primer on, and we're going to paint it. But you see it's getting a little bit of a shine to it. This is smooth. I'm going to use an air compressor and blow any kind of rust that I knock loose. I'm going to fire up the air compressor, and I'm going to go ahead and blow that out. And then we're going to go ahead and primer it. And then, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, work on this, okay? You can see the gist of it. So I'm going to go ahead and wire wheel this. I'm going to primer. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you what it looks like in primer. And I don't know, we might try and paint it today and see if we can get a finished product here. All in all, it's something that when you do the heater core thing, replacement like I'm going to be doing, it just adds that nice finishing touch. If you take the time, clean the rust, clean your connections, paint it, and then when you put it back together, you know, you're going to see that it just adds a little bit of, at least for me, it adds that self-satisfaction that you did the best job you could do and cleaned it up, and really sets off the installation nice with new hoses, a fresh painted hose section, if you will, for lack of a better term. Plus, it's cheaper than spending 150, whatever. I forget how much it was. I don't remember. It's like a ridiculous amount of money for this little piece here. So we'll try and get this painted, looking good, and then we'll see. I'll show you the finished product when I paint it, and then when we're done doing the heater core, I'm going to show the whole system, and you'll see this actually with the new hoses and everything, and it's going to be beautiful, and it'll dress up your Corvette real nice. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to finish this up, and when I come back, I'm going to spray it in primer. So we'll see you in a little bit. Alright guys, so I wire wheeled the rest of this. Is it perfect? No, but it's cleaned up. So, in fact, here's a spot here, now that I mentioned it. Good thing I turned it over. I'll show you. Let me see if I can fix the camera angle here without losing the phone. Right down in here. Okay, so I'm going to hit that quick. So now that I'm getting near the end here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use some rust treatment on this before we just spray it on there. You don't have to go too crazy, but just enough to cover that. And yes, we are going to be primering it, but I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up. So basically, what we want to do now is give that probably like 10-15 minutes to dry. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to mask off the vacuum motor here. I'm going to mask this off since this is a moving part. As if you can see, hang on, let me see if I can get my, not to block the light. But if you see here, if you move, this is a moving part. It's a vacuum motor. So we don't want to paint that because that would stick. And then basically the whole tube section would be junk and you'd be stuck, you know, going to a Corvette parts place and paying probably after shipping almost $200. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let this set up for about 10-15 minutes and then mask that off, primer it, let the primer set up for about the same time, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to probably, I think I'm going to use some high temp paint. So let me let this dry, and then when I come back we're going to go ahead and we're going to primer this. Alright guys, Big E, so we put the treatment on, the rust treatment on the pipe here. I'm going to bring it down here to see what's going on. And let me take this out of the vise. So we went ahead, we masked the motor, the vacuum motor on here. So now I'm going to go ahead, we're going to paint some of this. We can't get all of it. Well, I mean, not paint. I'm sorry. We're going to do primer on this. And we're going to let that cure up. So we're going to go ahead and let me adjust the camera here. And see how we're going to spray this up. Okay? Here we go. Now I'm using a black primer because I'm going to use black paint. So, and it's, for whatever reason, the nozzle's clogging. The only thing that sucks when you're doing this in a garage is just you have to step around everything that's in the way. Yes. Alright, so that's going to be it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to let that set up, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a nice black finish. It ain't going to be perfect, but at least it'll be protected, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to let this set up. Alright guys, so we got ourselves some Tough Coat gloss black. We're going to go ahead, and now that the primer is dry, we're going to, yeah, and the can dies on me. That's awesome. Alright guys, so we're going to try this Tough hard hat in black. So we're going to go ahead and paint on. And this will help make it look good and also help protect it from rust. So we're going to let that set up. We're going to unmask it and see what our finished product looks like. Alright guys, Big E, so here's our pipe. Not the greatest lighting, but it's painted. We took care of the rust. So basically, now what we can do is let this set up, let it cure, get all nice and dry, and then we can use it and reinstall the when we run the hoses for the new heater core. Anyway, so That's kind of like a quick crash course on how to restore, refurbish the heater pipe and make it look a little better. Alright, so hopefully you learned something. Hopefully at least enjoyed watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification bell whenever there's other stuff coming up. It'll let you know. Watch out for each other. Take care of each other. We see you next time right here on Big E's Auto. Bye for now.